Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. It's David Schlotthauer here with another important weather forecast. In this update, I am tracking three big major winter storms that are going to be developing across much of the United States, especially east of the Rockies. The first system is coming in over the next couple of days. That's going to bring a lot of ice and snow. The threat for severe weather on Saturday and Sunday, followed by even a bigger storm system by the middle of next week, and there's just more lining up after this. So in this update, we will be breaking down all those details on the ice, the snow, the flood concerns along to go with the severe weather. Now, with that being said, here's a look at your Friday morning forecast here on the 12Z European model that just got done rendering this early afternoon. And as we can see here, for your morning commute, yes, there is going to be a lot of showers, some thunderstorms across Houston, Corpus Christi, into Dallas, Fort Worth. We got a pretty impressive storm system impacting the Pacific Northwest. By the way, that bombed out significantly yesterday, producing some strong winds across Oregon and Washington. But fortunately, there was not any severe weather that did bust yesterday, which was good because, boy, this was going to be over a very populated area if it didn't bust. And then, of course, we got some showers and some thunderstorms going on across Indiana, some elevated nature systems there over Illinois as well as Ohio. But this is going to evolve with a pretty active weather pattern that continues into early April. No, it's not an April Fool's joke. This is literally going to happen because of the jet stream that's setting up a very wavy, zonally type pattern. And when we get zonal patterns this time of the year, especially in early April, we tend to get more dynamic systems coming out of that because you want warmer air that goes north or that wants to move north. Then you got the cooler air that wants to move southward because of this. We get an imbalance and we get some wicked storms that do pop up. So this is for Saturday morning. There is our next winter storm. This is going to bring a lot of ice, a lot of snowfall accumulation. And when I mean ice, I really mean it. Wait until you see the ice accumulation here in a little bit before we get talking about the severe weather side of things. Very concerned up here for power outages, for a lot of air and road travel. And then to the north of that, there's going to be a lot of snow, mainly since it's going to stay below 32 degrees in the deep layers of the atmosphere. And then just more of the same thing down here with more showers and thunderstorms over Arkansas, Louisiana, and eastern Texas. And then more activity going on in the Rockies. So now let's turn the clock forward now all the way into Sunday, because Sunday is going to be a really interesting day. All right, so this is Sunday morning. Actually, yeah, Sunday morning, we do have this cold frontal boundary that sets up over and is draped into the Ozarks, into the deep south here, into the upper Midwest, like Indiana, into the Ohio Valley. There is semi-discrete, quasi or linear type multi-clustered cells that do pop up here. So there's a mixed bag here, and it's a little complicated on how the models are handling this right now. One screams more of an enhanced risk of severe weather, but one kind of takes it on the lower end, and where we only have a slight risk of severe weather from the SPC for day 4. So this can go both ways right now. I'm not expecting a prolific tornado producing system at all, not like we had back in literally mid-March when we had that high risk. I mean, that was crazy. Nothing like that this time. More like maybe a 2 or 5% chance of tornadoes. Maybe a small 10 there, but nothing significant. And definitely some hail and some damaging winds associated with that. We'll be looking at the SPC here on the outlook here towards kind of the end of the video. Another good system hitting California, though, by Sunday. That's been in the models for a while now with decent rainfall, strong winds moving through, a stormy Sunday. It's looking like for California, and that continues all the way into Sunday night into Monday morning for your morning commute. Now, for the morning commute, or well, I should just say overnight hours, yeah, another repeat of showers and thunderstorms. Looks like Sunday into Monday could be quite dangerous with these bowing segments that do show up here. See this? See these bowing lines? Each of these could contain wind gusts of at least 75 miles an hour and the risk for some large hail and maybe a brief tornado, especially On the northern end of these little quasi or linear systems, you can get like little punches of faster winds to the south. We can get MCVs out of this, and we can get a tornado out of some of these storms. So consider that for Sunday night or Sunday afternoon into Monday as we go through the latter part of the weekend and into early Monday. But then that continues all the way into the northeast for your Monday afternoon, with more storms coming into California. Heavy Sierra snow, mountain or valley rain, cooler rain, and colder temperatures. Yeah, it's not going to be 80 degrees at all by any means anytime soon for the foreseeable future. That is, maybe more like mid-April we'll start warming things up again. But until then, be nice and cool here back west. And that system moves out, by the way, for the northeast by Tuesday. And then I'm pretty concerned actually now the next system. This is the second or third. I miscalculated my number of storms. I think this is like the third system. That roll survey, it is the third now that I thought of it. This is for Wednesday morning. Now the SPC, this is still kind of far out. They have not highlighted any area down here of any severe weather. Now, if the trends do continue, they might have to introduce something, and that would probably be the day 6 and day 7 outlook once that comes into range and once they get confidence on this. Because, yeah, this is a decent cold front and dry line that sets up here on the backside of the system. Well, we got cold front here, and then we got actually a trowel or a bent back occlusion, and then we got the cold front that's draped across Oklahoma. That right, my guys, that could be a big one. This could definitely be one for an enhanced risk down the road with the 982 millibar, heavy snow to the north, a multifaceted system that brings wind with it, and some impacts. And then, yeah, a stationary front kind of settles in here over on the Wednesday and Thursday time frame for the deep south. This could kind of keep the severe weather string of days going. And that goes through and look at it just continues with scattered showers, thunderstorms, that sort of thing. That goes out to the end of next week. So this would be almost the first full week of April. So yeah, April's starting off pretty active. I'm concerned for maybe multiple severe weather episodes too that are coming with, again, times of snow and some gusty winds with that. So let's take a look here at our snowfall forecast. Yeah, we're still dealing with snow. I know a lot of you are saying, oh, it's early April almost at this point. We're dealing with snow. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting spring, I should say, where, yeah, there's going to be snow falling up here across the northern Great Lakes into the northeast, as well as Minnesota, into the Dakotas, and in across the Rockies. Yeah, what's quite rare is to see how much snow falls in the Sierras. The European model pinpointing maybe 4 to 8 feet of snowfall in the matter of 7 days. That's a lot of snow in a short amount of time and the time of the year that we're in. We could use every bit of snow that we can get for that spring melt-off. So the water goes into our reservoirs. We replenish those for the summer season. Now, that's our water supply that takes us all the way through fall when we should expect more rain, because our dry season in California here runs from about May all the way through at least October. And by like mid to late October is when we should expect some active weather again. Now, the other concerning factor to all of this is the amount of freezing rain. And for that reasoning, I'm going to actually zoom in here. There is quite a few areas that could get, and this is the FRAM. This is the more accurate reading, so you can see it right here. Let me zoom out. Let me zoom out again. There, FRAM. So this is the accretion, taken into accretion and accumulation. And this is quite alarming. Look at this. Some areas here could see 1/2 inch up to 3/4 inch of ice in Vermont, New Hampshire, northern New York. Some of you in the comment section were saying, I'm tired of freezing rain. I could agree with you. This is not the time of the year to see it, but occasionally we can get something like this. Northern Michigan, up to 0.6 inch. Northern Wisconsin, up to 1 inch of freezing rain. That's pretty devastating. That will knock out power and cause a lot of problems. So, yeah, something to not look forward to at all towards the weekend, getting ready for maybe another good old winter storm, I guess, that will bring a lot of freezing rain and snow impacts, some sleet and some gusty winds and some colder temperatures. Yeah, it's not what you want to see in early April. And by the way, April starts on Tuesday, so yeah, you might be without power instead of probably getting ready to celebrate April Fool's Day, right? So now, looking at the amount of rainfall, this is the QPF, or quantitative precipitation forecasting. And yeah, this is a lot of rainfall. Man, this is very concerning. 10-day rainfall totals down here in Louisiana, 13 inches. Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit here. 16, 17 inches on the European model. We got 12 inches. We got, look at this. Southern Indiana, central Indiana, 5, 8 inches of rain. Southern Indiana, like right near the Kentucky border. Look at this, 9, 10, even 11 inches of rainfall. That's a lot of rainfall, and that tells us a number of things. Well, we might have more severe weather opportunities in this area. Man, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee have been hit too hard already with tornadoes this year, and southeastern Missouri, I don't think you're done yet. You're going to see more severe weather coming your way, more tornado opportunities, unfortunately, including for the Ohio Valley. We could have an early start to some severe weather, as you're looking at a lot of rainfall here, up to 6 or 7 inches in Columbus, Ohio. So now, speaking of severe weather, let's talk about why this weekend is looking a bit concerning and what we could be looking at for Wednesday next week. So this is the 500 millibar chart. This is the vorticity plot, and what we're looking at here is how much spin there is in the atmosphere. Anytime you get spin in the upper levels and the mid levels, you usually transport that energy down to the surface. And in this case, we'll see a surface low that develops. So we get this low, this impingement that moves into the high plains here. This is what we call a PVU streamer. This is a positively neutrally tilted trough. That's why the severe weather is up in the air for Saturday, and then that tilts a little bit more negatively on Sunday. That's why Sunday, I think, we're going to have more of an issue with severe weather, because there's going to be more upper level support here, falling heights, falling pressures over this area, over Indiana, over the Illinois, Missouri, down to the south. I think Sunday is looking more of a severe weather event or weather alert day in the Ozarks and the upper Midwest and the deep south. Saturday looks a little more questionable, looks more mediocre, looks more kind of a marginal low and slight day, and then more of a high end slight and an enhanced day on Sunday. So that moves through, right? And then we get another one. And now this one right here, this is for Wednesday. This could be a bigger event here. You can definitely see this is negatively tilted for sure. Nice, good PVU streamer, very strong mid-level flow encroaching on the southern and left exit region of this. So we're going to have good pressure falls, good decent moisture advection, dew points in the 60s and 70s out ahead of this. Good instability and lift out ahead of this too. So there could be a severe weather episode for sure. And I don't want to say outbreak because this is way too far out to even go ahead and say that. But definitely a day to watch for Wednesday next week. Probably even Tuesday. I would say Tuesday night and mainly on Wednesday would be the day to really kind of stay tuned for the SPC when they release their outlooks, because they're probably going to have a slight risk out in the next day or two. Probably even by tonight. Doesn't surprise me. And then this pattern really stays active under this southwesterly flow, advecting moisture northward with these troughs that occasionally come in and eject into the high plains. I mean, that's why we're going to see repeated days here from the SPC with slight risks. And just a side note, actually, before we get to that, here's a look at the moisture for Sunday's setup. And then as we go into next week, yeah, look at those dew points, 70s and 60s, even mid to upper 60s, advecting into central Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana, into Illinois. That tells you something. There's going to be good low-level jet flow, some speed shear involved here, and that's going to lead to, again, those supercells. And if they do develop, they organize quickly and could produce tornadoes. Instability, not a problem with this one. Anywhere between 2 to 3,000 joules of mixed layer cape. So there is strong instability for Sunday's event. And then for next week, you can see right here, looks more questionable. Yeah, looks a little more questionable. But yeah, you do get some good instability even up here in Indiana and Illinois. So yeah. That's going to be what we're going to need to really watch, what the models show in days to come. So now, with that being said, let's take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. And let's actually, there we go. Let's use this. So this is a slight risk that's for day 4. And some of you in the chat in the past have said, oh, this was slight risk on day 7. Just because there's a slight risk on day 7 does not mean it's going to be a moderate or high risk on day 1 or day 2 or even day 3. It's all about coverage and confidence. Okay, so you have to be confident, but also you have to be confident that, oh, there could be numerous storms, scattered storms, or widespread storms that are significantly severe. So that's what the outlook tells us. It does not give us doesn't give us intensity as much as it does with coverage. So because there's a slight risk here that this is large, some people are like, oh my gosh, there's a big slight risk. There's going to be an enhanced. More than likely, there will be an enhanced out of this, but a moderate or high risk, I'm not expecting anything at all on Sunday to go moderate. Most likely an enhanced risk somewhere down in here probably, but I'm not expecting anything substantial. More of a atypical severe weather event, nothing too intense by any means, no violent tornado production, no 4-inch hailstones, nothing that in that sort of books, no derecho or anything. Just good data. Just have your weather radio enabled and stay tuned for the channel or on my channel for more information on this. And also stay tuned to the SPC for more information on this. Because yes, there have been times where there's a slight risk at day 8 and it's only an enhanced on day 1 or 2. And there's been times where it's a slight risk on day 4 and it goes moderate or high on day 1. So yeah, it's all about confidence and coverage. Okay, confidence and coverage, not intensity. But anyways, if you found this video very detailed, informative, and helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, and share this video with their family and friends on social media. As always, I do enjoy making these videos. I enjoy putting a lot of detail and time into these. So again, please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm back mostly full-time here on the channel, so look for my updates on my main page. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll be back with you more tomorrow.